Indigo Park takes us on a journey inside a once thriving amusement park that has now been abandoned for many years. As we start to explore the eerie remnants to try and restore power, we start to run away from the reason it shut down. The characters here might be more alive than we think. So let's take a look at what happened in Indigo Park Chapter 1 and see if we can't uncover any secrets. The game starts off with an old video recording of the grand opening to the park. The owner says Indigo Park offers a slice of the American dream to call your own. How the park pays homage to the values, dreams, and unwavering truth that gave rise to our great nation. The video continues, but we zoom out to see that we are sitting at a desk, and the computer monitors give us a bunch of background information about who we play as. On the left screen, we see a conversation between us and our friend Laura. We tell her that we're doing another search this weekend at Indigo Park, and ask her if she wants to tag along. She is hesitant and asks how we would even get inside. We are unsure, saying, "Honestly, I don't know. I'm not even gonna bring my equipment. Jump a fence or something? We've done way worse." So this tells us that we have a history of exploring abandoned places like this. It also tells us that we might be some kind of video creator, considering we mention having equipment, which I assume means camera gear. Laura tells us that she's going to pass on this adventure, but if we can get in, she will go with us to help record some other time. She did look it up, but found no info online about the place. How it's probably swarming with cops. This tells us that something very bad probably happened if the cops were involved. We tell her we'll check it out. Her last message says, "Just be careful, Ed. I don't want to be paying your bail." So this tells us that our name is Ed, or likely Eddie. Therefore, we play as a guy named Ed that likes to explore and film abandoned places. On the other monitor, we have the Indigo Park homepage pulled up. This page gives park goers the opportunity to plan out their dream vacation, which is very similar to the likes of most big amusement parks like Disney and whatnot. We can see that Indigo Park also had its very own resort hotel, even offering a dining plan, and this is where we could have applied for a park pass. These are some really cool details that give us more backstory to the game. Following this, we get shown a newspaper page about the park's closure, how Indigo Park closed and suddenly evacuated, also stating that it's still awaiting information from authorities, further implying that something terrible happened at this park. From here, we enter Chapter 1. Birds of a Feather, hinting at our run-in with Molly. The park's main door is locked, so we need to turn on the power to get inside. As we head into one of the unlocked doors, we meet Rambley the Raccoon for the first time. Rambley is the face of Indigo Park. It's his job to make sure our experience at Indigo Park is the most fun it can be. He is the park's AI-driven tour guide, meaning we will only ever see him on screens throughout the park. This is how he communicates with us. Rambley uses the CCTV cameras all over the location to watch our every move. He will be helping us throughout our exploration. Now, one of the first things he tells us is that we are the first guests in 2,920 days, 4 hours, 23 minutes, and 38 seconds, which means Indigo Park has been shut down and abandoned for over 8 years. The fact that Rambley can remember this gives us a glimpse at just how smart he is. He remembers how long it's been down to the second. We then head over to the computer to register ourselves inside of the park's database. This is where we learn the date of the day this game takes place. Saturday, October 7th, sometime around 2023. It has X's on the screen here, but the dev told us in the past that the game will take place around 2023. While trying to register, Rambley looks at us through the computer's webcam. As we see, it lights up. Like I said, he is able to do this with all of the cameras throughout the park. He tells us our face is not in the guest list and asks if it's our first time here. However, we know from the messages before that we used to come here as kids, so this is likely because we aged and our face had obviously changed. That's why Rambley doesn't recognize us. He then says not to worry because it's Tuesday and we qualify for a discount, but the computer says it's Saturday, so I'm assuming Rambley might not be remembering everything correctly. I mean, he has been alone for over 8 years. As we turn on the generator and head inside, we are given our very own critter cuff. This is how we will interact with the park and get through locked doors. Rambley also tells us that it doubles as a pedometer, heart monitor, and a mood ring. If that's true, this is a very handy tool. As we explore through the park, we find ourselves at Rambley's Railroad. We learn Rambley loves this ride because, well, he likes trains. This ride introduces us to each character inside the park. The first character character we see is Molly Macau, but you'll also notice that you get a quick glimpse of her as she runs through the door at the beginning of her segment. It's important to point this out because throughout the chapter, we see her constantly stalking us. A bird that loves to fly, but tends to crash a lot. Molly calls it barnstorming, crashing with style. Molly suggests we head to her ride, Rooftop Races. The next character we meet is Finley, a lonely, sad sea monster. We don't learn much about him other than the fact that he likes to collect seashells. His ride is Oceanic Odyssey, and it will teach us all about the wonders down under the deep blue sea. It's as blue as him. The next character part of the ride is destroyed with debris everywhere, so we don't learn about who it is. However, from a arcade minigame, we learn that this is Salim the skunk. We can assume this location was destroyed because of them. As we know, Salim is the mean character within the group. In the arcade game, they throw a potion at Molly that turns her evil. This could be hinting at what might have happened here at Indigo Park, but I'll save that for another video. Following this, we get introduced to the proud and prestigious Lordford L. Lyon, the actor extraordinaire. However, Rambley cuts him short. It's very clear that Rambley does not like Lloyd, and he doesn't even consider him his friend. I'm assuming it's because of how boastful he is. Continuing on with Lloyd, we actually get to see him when inside of his theater. We head inside to find a key. When doing this, we see Lloyd laying down resting before he runs into the back. As we follow him, we go into the back room and see that he's peeking at us through open shelving. We continue on and make our way through the dark and eerie storage area. However, Lloyd tries to jump at us, but gets stuck underneath a box. As we can see, his eyes are all black and his paws are covered in blood. Clearly, he was attacking people at one point. After we grab the key and try to leave, Lloyd grabs us, but turns away in pain from the sharp sound that our critter cuff emits, which ends up saving us. This shows that this critter cuff is a tool of many purposes. Next, we try to head to Molly's Rooftop Races, but the ride is destroyed, so we head over to Molly's landing pad instead. When inside, we need to solve a simple puzzle to unlock the next door. While doing this, we are stalked by Molly from inside the play tunnels. After solving the puzzle, we head into the next room, where Molly opens one of the doors and starts to chase us. We frantically make our way through the play maze while Molly is right behind us, which leads us to a staff room. After we turn around, Molly jumps at us and her head gets completely cut off. I was not expecting this, but it was so cool. The mess left behind by Molly tells us that these characters are in fact living beings. They are not just animatronics or mascots. Lloyd is a real lion and Molly was a huge real bird. I can only imagine what Salim and Finley will look like. Following this horrific scene, Rambley starts to tell us what's really going on. The park has been inactive for years. Employees and guests stop showing up. The mascots are, and he stops his sentence. Obviously, he was probably going to say the mascots are actually living beings, which makes me wonder what they've been feeding on. Rambley continues with how he was confined to the entrance for so long. He didn't realize just how much disrepair the park has fallen into. He then suggests that we help restore the park to get it back up and running. And of course, we agree to help. Which brings us to Oceanic Odyssey, the end of chapter 1. So chapter 2 will likely pick up from here. We'll head deeper into the park to help bring it back to life and learn what really happened here. Chapter 1 sort of introduced us to the location and the characters. I think Salim was likely part of the reason it shut down, but like I said, I'll be making a video going over that in detail. How do you guys feel about Indigo Park? Did you enjoy it? I thought it was awesome, and if chapter 2 gets the funding it needs, we can expect an even better experience. I also have a feeling the lore will be a lot deeper as well. I plan on making a video talking about what might have caused the park to close, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Anyways, let me know your thoughts about this game in the comments below, and if you like horror game content like this, please consider subscribing. Also, if you want to support the channel more, you can become a member. Don't forget to follow my Twitter at TerrifiedT. Thanks for watching.